What's going on, everyone? Thank you for taking the time to view this video. Gonna be giving a shot at my first review here on the channel. So as you can see from the title above, I'm gonna be reviewing the movie Primal from 2025, released in January 9th, 2026. Time is about an hour and 29 minutes. Director is Jonas Roberts. Writers Jonas Roberts and Ernest Riera. So here's some of the cast members. Johnny Sequoia plays the character Lucy. We have Jess Alexander, who plays the character of Hannah. Troy Culture, sorry if I butchered that, I'm trying my best here. His character name is Adam. He is the deaf father in this movie. Victoria Wyatt, plays the character of Kate. Gia Hunter plays the character of Aaron. Benjamin Chang plays the character of Nick. And Charlie Mann plays the character of Drew. And Tiane Simone plays the character Brad. Sorry if I didn't pronounce those names correctly. And the character that plays the chimpanzee is Michael Torres Umba, and the character name is Ben. So this is gonna be with spoilers. So if you don't want your movie to get spoiled, click off this video. And if you just want to hear, this is just my take. I took a lot of notes on this. Like, I have a lot of information, but I'm gonna kind of run it and hopefully not get too deep into it where it ruins it for you guys. But hopefully not too long of an interview. So the movie starts off where the first scene is you see an enclosure with this chimpanzee in it, and you see this gentleman who find out he's a vet is going into the enclosure to give the character Ben his medicine. And when the vet opens the enclosure, goes in to try to give Ben his medicine, he sees something is really off with Ben. He's very angry and so this is just the first shot of the movie. I'm just not gonna ruin it, and then it kind of backtracks. So he goes in as he's trying to give Ben his medication. Ben grabs his arm, breaks his arm, pulls him into this little enclosure area in the back, and then all you see is Ben just brutally smash his head in, and it's pretty graphic. It's very violent. So that's the first scene that you see in the movie. Then it cuts to a bunch of school friends on an airplane, and I believe there's about six characters. Three of them are the main ones that you are introduced with, are on the plane. Two of them are really good friends, and they're talking on the plane that one other friend is going to be joining them, and one of the girls doesn't like. So basically, they're going to Hawaii to get away on a trip, and so these three girls are sitting on the plane, and they're just kind of glancing over at the other part of the plane, and they see these two guys that they're attracted to, and as you find out, they give their number to these guys to show up at this house that they're going to in Hawaii. So they arrive in Hawaii at this beautiful house that's sitting on this huge mountain cliff area. And so they get there, and as they're trying to settle in, the three characters are introduced to another character, which was Benjamin Chang is a character played, and that's his name is Nick. So they're hanging out with Nick, and Nick kind of goes off and does his own thing, and the one girl that plays Hannah is kind of attracted to this guy, so they're kind of trying to like hit it off and stuff, and is Lucy, who's like one of the main characters in this movie. She actually used to live there before she went away in school. Her sister is also living there, who hadn't seen her in a very long time, and that is Erin, played by Gina Hunter. So she's kind of like in her room doing her own thing, and then Lucy comes in, and she's just like, they're just catching up, shooting the shit, and anyways, moments later, all of them are kind of trying to go to the pool area, and so they're just kind of hanging out in the house, and one of the girls that plays the Hannah character sees this picture of Lucy's mom with a photo with mom and a chimpanzee, and she's like, oh, who's this? And so they introduce the character of Ben, so that Ben has been in the family for a while since her mom had passed, and so Ben shows up kind of as things and being funny and quirky, and he has this little tablet which he communicates with, and anyways, they're hanging out, and they're at the pool just hanging out, and so Ben was in his enclosure in this particular time. One of the characters just realizes that she was in one room and that she saw Ben, and he was just like staring at her all crazy through the glass, and she's like, should he be out to Lucy? And Lucy's like, no, he should be in the enclosure. And they start just noticing that something is really off with Ben, and he's just acting very aggressive like, and the dad has to kind of come in and settle Ben down a little bit, and the dad ends up getting a phone call from the veterinarian's office that Ben had attacked a mongoose, and the mongoose had rabies, and he's like, that's not possible, there's no rabies in Hawaii. And he goes off into a conference or a book signing or something like that, and as these kids are just hanging out at the house, Ben gets out of his enclosure, and he starts just pretty much just toying with these kids, and just stalking them in the house and just being very creepy like. And basically they're at the pool, and Ben is just kind of sitting by the pool side just watching them, because Ben can't go into the water, he can't swim. And as they kind of go their own ways doing stuff in their house, Ben starts slowly going after each one of these students, attacking them. The younger sister that Lucy visits at the start of the movie, she gets bit by Ben on the leg, and they panic and go a little crazy. They wrap it up, and they kind of start starting to get really scared of why Ben is attacking them, especially the younger sister that he lives with. So they bandage her leg up, and he starts just going crazy in this house, and throughout this whole time they're like, well, the only way that we're gonna escape or hide from Ben, because he's a loose cannon at the moment, is if they go into the pool. So they're pretty much confined to the pool, as Ben is literally watching every move that they do. So this poor young kid is bleeding from the leg in a pool, and they don't know what to do, how they're gonna escape. They don't have their phones with them, and as they try to do stuff like one tries to get out, distract Ben to do something else, and he just pretty much brutally murders some of these characters throughout this movie. So as Ben's doing this craziness and attacking these kids in this house viciously, just brutally murdering certain characters, where the gore is pretty intense in this. Like, there's some very vicious kills in this movie. Towards kind of the end of the movie, the deaf father comes back to the house because when he ignored that phone call from the veterinarian that the mongoose had rabies, that Ben now has rabies. He rushes home to see this chaotic mess in his home, and basically towards the end of the movie, they try to obviously, get Ben to stop doing what he's doing. And so here's my take on it. So that's pretty much your story there. I don't want to give too much away. I like detail where I can explain to you guys, but there's not much of a story in this movie, in my opinion. So I personally like some of the kills and the death scenes in this movie, how Ben attacks certain characters. The atmosphere, it's okay. It takes place in a house, in an enclosure, and you see a little shot of Hawaii outside, but the characters are okay. I don't know. I personally wouldn't recommend this movie, but the gore is good. The story is very lackluster, and the characters, you don't really care for any of the characters because there's nothing that, like, their story doesn't attach to you where you feel for the character or anything like that. So good gore, interesting new movie. What did you think was going to happen when you have a chimpanzee as a pet? So, like, in my opinion, it's just like a reality check is like, don't keep animals like this as pets. Like, this is gonna turn around and bite you in the ass. And you hear story about this, like these stories about in the news, and it's just, I don't know. In my head, I'm like, what did you think was gonna happen? You think he was just gonna be a happy-go-lucky chimpanzee throughout the whole movie? Anyways, so that's my take on it. It's okay. The gore is good. Story kind of sucks. Visually, it doesn't have very many locations inside a house and in a pool area. I would give it like 2.5 stars out of 5 for just the gore, but like the story sucked. The characters were subpar at best. Anyways, that's my little review on Primal 2025. Hopefully you guys enjoy this review. Like I said, let me know if these review is decent, what I could do better. But yeah, thanks for watching.